Good morning. How's everybody? Wednesday. We have this weather down here that moves so fast. I can't tell you what could. I could be looking at you, talking to you. By the time I turn around, it's pouring rain. It's amazing. So anyhow, where to start? Well, first of all, please do me a favor, and if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Neither one costs you any money. Neither one of you gets spam or any of that out of it. You know, it's just you get to see my video every day if you want. And you can always click on it and get rid of it. You know, unsubscribe if you want to. You know, but I appreciate it if you would subscribe. It shows YouTube that I'm actually accomplishing something here. Okay? Alright, here we go now. First up, did you ever notice that Supreme Court, the Supreme Court is made up of Trump appointees or people that Trump wanted in? They're, you know, if he didn't appoint them, they're in there because of the conservative movement and what have you and everything. They're supposed to be mega supporters. And now Trump is doing nothing but trashing the Supreme Court because they're disagreeing with him. Because he's so lawless that they can't even cover for him, you know? That's kind of a slap in the face for Trump, don't you think? Deservedly so. I don't know if they can stop him because he's just ignoring them. And they haven't got the guts to do anything about it. But we'll see what happens. You know? I hope they got some balls, but we'll wait and see. Another interesting thing is that they say, and when I say they say, it's a couple of articles I've read on YouTube, and I forgot what the other one was, claiming that the resistance to Trump is building. They're trying to get the colleges to stand up to him, saying that, you know, capitulation isn't going to help them. It doesn't guarantee them anything. So you got them. You have the protesters, this 50501, if that's what it's called. I forgot. I wrote it down. I just don't have it handy right now. Organization that's out there trying to mobilize people. I think right now, though, they're complaining about Trump in general, and I think they need to get a little bit more specific, but that's okay. I think that this general condition, you know, I think, you know, maybe a general strike, force Trump to do something completely out of illegal, you know, and that we can go after him then, you know. Wait and see with that one. Let's see. Hedgeworth is some articles are showing that he's gone. I don't think so. He and Patel and Naomi, they're very much loyalists, and Trump will get rid of them eventually, but I don't think at the present time. You know, once they start to get it, if they start to get more publicity than Trump, then they're gone. If they start to look more like, you know, superstars, they're gone. You know, I hear Musk is gonna be paring down his Dodge work. Well, that's good, but he's still got his little friend over there, his little sidekick. and sooner or later, people are going to get really pissed. And then we're going to have some bad incidences. We had bad incidences during the Vietnam War protests, like Kent College, where students got shot. I think there's possibility of seeing stuff like that happen again. Only this time, the amount of guns that are out there, I think some of the soldiers might get shot too. So, that's something I don't want to see. It's just not a cool thing, when people do that. Oh yeah, the thing going back to Hedges, former aides of his think he should be gone after this because he's just so confused and disorientated and not a leader of men or officers or whatever you want to say he leads as Secretary of Defense. And what I'm surprising is I haven't seen any big push come out of China or Russia. I haven't seen China sending, massive fleet into South China Sea around Taiwan, I haven't seen Russia start, carpet bombing the Ukraine. Things that would, because I don't think the world's going to do much either. So, pardon me. But you got to say that when his people, Hedgeworth's people, or Hegsworth, I can't pronounce his name, own people who are granted they're no longer working for him, but they believe that he should be gone. That he's not capable. He's the wrong person for the job, or however you want to put it, So that was an interesting article. On the local scene, there's a big fire, 8,500 acres or so burning in New Jersey. Wildfires are very difficult to put out, especially if you've had a drought for a while. See here, the funny thing here is you can get 2 inches of rain in an hour. And the rivers are overflowing, everything's going on, and yet the next morning everything's dry. And by the afternoon it's bone dry, the ground's hard. That's kind of strange down here. You don't get that up there, When the rains come after a drought, you usually have a lot of flooding and, what's the terminology? Erosion and whatnot that goes on. So, now, you all know who J.K. Rowling is. She wrote oh God, here goes my brain cells. Well, you know she is. And she's very anti-trans. I don't know if she's anti-gay as well, but she's very anti-trans. Harry Potter's the name of the books. I'm sorry. It just takes a while for me to think of these things. And she's wants transgenders gone. I don't know how she's planning on doing that, but she just doesn't want anything to do with it. The transgenders should be banned, deported. I don't know what she's saying, but anyhow, I believe since that's a case. I mean, we did this with Target, and it hurt Target very badly. But I think there should be a ban on J.K. Rowling's books. Don't buy them. Don't go to the movies. Netflix's new TV show, don't watch it. Okay, hurt her financially. She's a billionaire. She's one of the elite, She's not a big billionaire. And her finances are rather sensitive to something like this. So I think we could, teach her a lesson. I have no problem with trans people. I have no problem with gay people, trans people. If they leave me alone, don't bother me. Don't try to convince me to be gay. I have a lot of gay friends. I've had them all my life. Okay? I don't have any problem with them so long as they don't try to influence me beyond understanding them. They don't come up and make, hit on me like some, a guy hits on a girl. Don't do that. And I'm fine with you, I have no problems with you. I had a couple of really good friends, worked with two of them, and one of them was just I don't know why he was this way, because he was gay. The two were gay, and the one of them was just an absolute bully, beast of a bully. Really bothered this young man really, really bad. He ended up not just quitting, but moving to San Francisco to get away from him. I thought that was a good idea. I used to hear from him. Now I don't hear from him anymore because our mutual friend passed away, so we lost contact. But he was a nice guy, a good worker, a nice guy. People liked him. Just this guy was a total ass. I don't know how. It was him, and there was another one who was supposedly straight. I don't know. I think he protested a little too much. From Texas. He was like, you're talking about bad Republican? This was back in 80s, and he was a bad Republican. Vicious, vicious bully. Reminds me of Donald Trump now. Alright. Here's another, alright, moving on. So Vance is demanding that peace talks continue or whatever it is over in the Ukraine. And my deal here is if he keeps doing that and taking center stage, he's going to be gone. Because as I said earlier, Trump does not like to be upstaged. Okay? He doesn't mind Vance being a sort of mouthpiece for him, because he can just humiliate him later, and it goes away. But Vance thinks he's more important. He's made some comments about being the last person really to speak to the Pope. Last dignitary, I guess, to speak to the Pope before the Pope died. He spoke to him the day before he died. Pope wasn't real happy with some of the things that the administration's doing. He is, see, the Pope has, like me, he got no problem with these people so long as they don't try to influence the youth or something like that, like they say they do. They don't. All these people want to do is lead their lives. And I don't know how to explain how they, they're trans people, because I've known a few, and they just feel like that they're in the wrong body. And, that brings up the cartoon where the stork makes a mistake, and a cat goes to a mouse's house or something like that, or a mouse goes to a cat's house. This is what they're saying. It's similar. That's a simplification of the situation, but these kids wake up and they don't feel right. Nobody's influencing them. But it's like being gay. You're not being influenced by, for the most part, these gay kids don't get influenced. They ask questions because they're unsure of their sexuality. And some of them a few of them, when they go gay, then people get upset and say, oh, they were converted, we could convert them back. No, you can't. Don't work. Conversion therapy doesn't work. It's proven. It's been banned in most places. It doesn't work. Acceptance is what works. You accept the child, you love the child, you befriend the people, you treat them like you treat anybody else. Granted, some of them are very outrageous. Well, that's fine. They don't tend to do that outrageous, and you're not. If they're that like that, you're not going to be their friend. But that doesn't mean that they're not decent people. I know a lot of people that I don't like for one reason or another, but that doesn't mean I hate them. There's a difference between, let's say, some neighbor and Donald Trump, okay, which I hate. I hate to say it, but I just can't stand the man, right? But I know you're not supposed to hate, but I'm sorry. I'll probably be sorry later on anyhow. But can't stand the man. He is so ridiculously phony, and he's such a pain in the ass. Alright, I hit my 15-minute mark. I hope I interested some of you people today. Look into go back, and if you don't want to study mine, there are articles on what Trump, how the Supreme Court that's there came together, and that they were considered to be Trump loyalists. Now they're not. Now he's pissed off at them. And the aides that Hedgewith want, that he want him gone, and the J.K. Rowling story, and the Vance, they're all there. They're all out, on CNN, CBS, all those news stations. All right, so you can get different versions of the story, and then you can come up with your own opinions of these people. Read Rolling Stone magazine once in a while. I told you this story. When I grew up, I used to read Time, Newsweek, local newspaper, a New York paper, and Rolling Stone. That's how I got my information. All right. I had a lot of, not one source. One source is not good. Those of you that sit and listen to Fox News, that's not good. You need more than their opinion. You need everybody's opinion so you can make up your mind. All right, I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.